Hey everyone, let's do another review. And I'm assuming everyone has seen it by now, but we have the exemption on phones, computers, chips, and basically all electronics, including the ones from China, which has caused features to go up. The weekend ones are for this is DIA basically, or US30. We are at the level of the God candle, and on US 100 we are slightly above the level of the good candle. Let's say we are almost at the open of this candle here. That means we are somewhere here, like 3.2 up on tech, and for DIA or US 30 we are like 1.5. It doesn't have SPY or US 500, but I would assume we're also around here, like 2% up. So futures are gonna open up 2%. We had this 90 U vol here, and we tried to go down again and recovered. This was 90 D vol for most of the day, but then it recovered towards the end. And we have the 80 U vol here. Just this plus this is enough as a bullish signal. Basically, this is reversal. This is confirmation of the reversal. And just this one is failure of bears to get back in control and push it even lower. And I imagine tomorrow we're gonna get another 90 U vol. So these three candles alone are a major bullish signal, and I'm gonna use the US 100 chart because it looks very clean with the levels. Uh, what what I assume will happen is next week we continue having bullish days, so a very likely 90 U vol on Monday. Some pullback, some going sideways a bit another day or so. So we open here, maybe pull back a bit. We continue going up for the rest of the week and go to this level, which is where we broke down initially. This is where we have to fail. And then we have uh, these two AVWAPs, maybe do a double top here. Eventually we break down, and this is the first level where we can hold. If we don't hold, we go all the way to the low, maybe do an AVWAP retest, and then go higher. Even if this happens, the full retrace, if we get like a breath rust here, like this whole setup of going from extremely oversold this to a multitude of high UVOL days is an extremely bullish signal. We potentially may even trigger a breath rust, and it becomes very complicated after that because I don't really believe in the bullishness given the potential for recession a bit later on. But in theory, we should get a new bull leg, even if we go down. Let me show you here. Let me just turn this on. So this is Wally breath thrust. The last one we got was here at the top, and you see that even if we pull back, usually you don't want to trust the ones that happen at a top extension. And we got a pullback, but we still recovered and went higher. Uh, then we had one at the bottom. We had one here, and this is one very similar to what we have now. Basically, we still went lower, but this was a value signal. This was very close to the bottom of the bear market, and we went up initially. We went down again, but we didn't go down or lower significantly relative to this point. Same true here. Like this one came close to a top. We had a huge pullback. This was like 5% down day for 63, and we continue going higher. So if we get a breath thrust, it's complicated. Like this one, we went higher, but then we got a retest. Uh, this type of moves happen at the close to a bottom. We can get multiple signals, or we can get one at the top, then we go down, and it looks like it's a fail signal. Like imagine if we get it here, and then we get this pullback here all the way back to the lows. But I would assume if we get a breath signal here, I would assume the lows will hold, and we potentially do another bull leg, which could it's gonna be as a percentage very high. Like this is 30%. You want to catch 30%. We're not making new highs on the market overall. We're just retesting them. But do you want to miss 30% on QQQ? No fucking way. You still have to go for it. So the setup is on a macro perspective, we're very likely getting a recession, even with the pause on the electronic tariffs. There's also a chance these are coming back in a different form later, like a specific tariff on semis, which the market would not like. But if we get a breath first next week, and basically the combination of this many 90 U vol days, 80 U vol days, and so on that are very likely to happen, uh, it will signal a level of bullishness that is not consistent with making new lows at least. Like we can go down, we can hold here, or we can go all the way here. But making new lows within the next 3 months is an extremely unlikely setup. And this will be confirmed by many things when we get to it. Like for example, uh, McLaren oscillator, the breadth indicators. Uh, sorry, let's do McLaren oscillator first. And one way to look at it is, for example, this. We will get a divergence here. While the market is making new lows, this is not going lower. So we set a bottom here. When we do the retest, I would expect McLaren oscillator to be like at 41, minus 30, minus 40. Same for sub, the breadth thing. Same here, like we do a retest, but this is higher even though prices are lower, and so on. Even the positioning thing I use when it loads. So you see here, like we made the lows in June on the positioning rating. We actually printed a 0. So this was the most, oh no, we didn't. Never mind. We printed a 5. So this was the most oversold since the COVID crash, which actually printed a 0 at some point. But when we did the retest in October, even though we actually went slightly lower, it was defended eventually. But the positioning was more bullish than at this low. So this is a divergence that usually signs a bottom. And now we made the low at 854. So we are in the 8th percentile as bullishness, which is very low. When we go up and then if we were to do a retest, I would expect this to be significantly higher than the 8 here. Maybe it prints a 20 like here, or to pick it 20, yeah. So we go up, we go down, and price goes all the way back to the lows, let's say, but positioning will stay significantly higher. So if these conditions become true over the next 2 months, 3 months, let's say, then there's a very high chance we hold the lows or make a higher low, and we do another bull leg that tests the highs of the cycle. This is especially true if no more horrible headlines like within the next 3 months because that's the tariff window. Uh, and if we don't get any negative headlines and inflation continues to go down, which could potentially do so for another month or two. We haven't gotten the hit from tariffs yet. So if this happens, I could see us going back towards the highs, or at least at a minimum, do more swings in this range. Like I was thinking, because we didn't break down and make new lows, which could have triggered that 8-10% day down, this looks more similar to the 2018 setup, which is this. Switch to US 500 for this one because it looked better. So which is this. Basically, we went down, recovered, went down, recovered again. And now we have an even larger swing. This was like 7, 8%, 7% up, down 6%. Now I think we have an even larger range, but I could see us doing this for a couple of months, like at least until June. And in June, maybe we break down if things turn badly, or we break out and we do a retest of the highs, which could have happened here as well. So let's determine our range. Let's say our entire range is this. We go all the way to 575. It's TBD for now. Probably something like this. So our range is huge. It's 15%. Maybe it's not determined. This is just an assumption. So don't assume it's exactly this one. So 50%, 15% down and 17% up. But imagine we do a couple of moves like this in this area over the next couple of months, or the entirety of summer even, and eventually maybe we break down, or we move higher and retest the highs here. So it seems plausible to me that we do some kind of move like 2018 if it's not bullish. If it is bullish, we could break out and go to the highs again. And I'm thinking it happens sooner rather than later. So I would expect this whole move, if we get a bullish scenario in which we get breadth thrust and so on, maybe we hold here, we go all the way to the top by June OPEX, and after that I would not trust it to go above this level in any way. If we do not hold here and go to the lows, I would expect we get more of these swings in this range. Like the QQQ range it's much clearer than the one from SPY. 25% is huge as well. So you want to catch swings in this area here. This one is 7% if we go to the top and get rejected, and so on. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking. Uh, Again, lots of uncertainty about everything. But given the high UVOL day, given the continuation, given the expected continuation on Monday and probably the rest of the week as well, I don't see us being that bearish. Maybe earnings season changes this a bit. Like it won't be. We begin with mega caps next week with Netflix, I think. Most of the earnings for mega caps are in this week. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, that's it. Have a good one. Bye bye.